everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, I decided to kind of switch it up for today's video, and we are actually in my dining room instead of my office space. So hopefully volume and lighting is okay. If not, we're just gonna roll with it, right? But in today's video, I am doing my first Q&A, which I'm super excited to do. I even put my logo, branding, right? It's not the best, but that's okay. But I have all my questions on these index cards. A couple days ago, I asked y'all on my other socials, Facebook and Instagram, what questions you had about real estate. It could be general questions, it could be Roanoke specific, it could be my experience, so on and so forth, really anything. So I had a couple people submit questions, so I will be answering those today. But before we dive in, I would love it if you would please help me reach my goal of 100 subscribers by the end of 2020. Hit that notification box right down there, notification, subscribe button, I don't even know what I'm saying, subscribe button right there, and let's go ahead and get started. Also, really quickly, if you hear a pitter patter or a dog, it is my personal assistant Freckles. He is doing a couple of his to-do items today, so just to let you know. But the first question is, what is your favorite part about being a realtor? And I have two. So my first one is that I am able to help someone become a first-time homeowner. And it might sound cheesy or corny, and maybe it is, but it's the truth. It is the coolest thing to see my clients on closing day and see them become true homeowners, and the smile that they have on their faces and that sense of accomplishment and pride. And I talked about this in my video the story on how I became a realtor. It is just the coolest feeling that I was able to help make that happen. So that is definitely like number one favorite thing about being a realtor. Probably a second one, and this is more on like the behind the scenes side of things, is that I'm able to run my own business. So when you're a realtor, you have to do everything yourself, right? So I love the endless opportunity that you really have in creating and growing your business and your brand, and the creativity that I'm able to just really have, no limit on. So those I say would be definitely my two favorite things about being a realtor. Question number two, what is the best investment for your current house to ensure a great return on investment when you sell? And this is a really good question. I immediately think of doing minor kitchen and bath remodels, and notice I said minor instead of major, because we've all heard it, right? When someone, whether it's their home or it's a flip home, that they just simply put too much money into the remodel and they don't get the return on investment. Now, I'm not saying be cheap or cut corners, because please do not do that either. It will come back to haunt you. But what I'm saying is that know what remodel that you're going to do that makes sense for your house and for the market that your house is going to be in when you do resell. So getting advice from your realtor, getting advice from a couple contractors, or even, maybe it's someone that who's recently buying a house, so they've seen what's on the market and they can kind of share what's kind of going on and get the, the behind the scenes a little bit. Or hey, maybe you go out to open houses and see what's out there, because that's going to help you be smarter in how you're going to spend that money for remodel and knowing how to prioritize your budget. Another thing that I want to add on for this question is actually landscaping, because when a homeowner takes the time to really take care of the outside of the house, it sets a good tone that they're taking care of the inside of the house just as much, if not more so. And that's exactly what you want potential buyers to see and have a good first impression on. Now, I'm not saying by any means you have to be a great gardener. I am certainly not. Or a fountain with swans in it. That's not what I'm saying. But be intentional about the landscaping, making sure that shrubbery placement or flowers make sense for the area and for the house and the opportunity you have, like the shape of the yard, things like that. If you have potential to have outdoor living space, take advantage of it and always maintain it. Question number three, When selling someone's home, how do you come up with a listing price? I'm really happy someone asked this. So when coming up with a listing price for a home, there are several things that are taken into account. And the biggest thing is going to be your agent doing a CMA, which is a comparable market analysis. And a CMA has a couple different things incorporated in it, including information on the subject property, so location, size, number of beds and bath, age, things like that. And then it's also going to take into account the local neighborhood along with the local and regional market information and trends and what is currently happening in the market. And then it's also going to include a description of comparables. Now, comparables are homes that have recently sold within the last couple of months, and depending on how fast the market is moving, that time frame can be shortened or lengthened to make it more appropriate for how the market is moving. And notice how I said sold houses. So it's not looking at what is active on the market or what's pending, it's looking at what has actually closed. All right, fun little facts I'm going to share. Comparables or comps are homes that have recently sold that are similar to your house, while houses that are currently on the market that could be a substitute for your house would be considered competition. So that's a little fun fact. Another fun fact is that a CMA is not an appraisal, so just keep that in mind. But no home's identical to the next, right? Or it's incredibly rare that that's the case. So this is when adjustments are going to be made to help narrow down a more appropriate listing price for your home. And this is where also when how well maintained your home is and the updates that you may have done come into play and for your benefit, right? Also, I just want to mention, don't necessarily rely on AVMs, and AVMs is like a Zillow or Realtor.com. When it comes to those valuation on your homes, kind of just take them with a grain of salt. Question number 4, would you ever flip a home? Yes, I would totally flip a house, and I do want to do that one day. I'm not sure if it's going to happen within the next 3, 5, 10, 15 years, but it is something that I definitely want to do. I know that it would be a complete challenge and an incredible learning experience. It definitely is not going to be like an HGTV show. Even their problems seem to be easily fixed within that 1 hour, right? But I would totally do it. And I would actually film the entire process and make it like a YouTube series. So that is something that I absolutely want to do. Last question. What's your favorite room or space in a home? And would it be a deal breaker if you didn't love it while looking at a home? So I'll answer this personally. For me, my favorite spaces in a home are definitely the kitchen, love a good kitchen, and then living space, whether that's indoor living space or preferably outdoor living space. I'm a sucker for awesome outdoor living spaces, but I don't necessarily think for me those things would be a deal breaker if they weren't awesome when I was buying the home, if I knew that there's a solution for that. For example, if the living room was smaller but had a great space for, a fire pit and things like that, or if the kitchen, for example, my kitchen was larger for the size of my home, but it was a bit outdated, I was able to, make small updates, and I still have a few more that I want to do, and I'll actually link my vlog that I did for part 1 of my kitchen remodel if you want to check that out. So definitely don't think it would be deal breaker if I knew that there would be a solution for it. But always keep in mind, it doesn't matter if it's your first home, if it's your 5th home, it doesn't matter your budget. There are going to be things that you do have to compromise on, and you have to really know what you're willing to live with and live without. So yeah, that is the last question, and I had a lot of fun filming this video. Thank you everyone who submitted a question. Give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see something like this again in the future. I would love to kind of make this a series. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching today's video. As always, follow me on my other socials, Facebook, Instagram, subscribe down below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Switching it up today. All right, 2 index cards.